welcome to Booze Motors. Today we're going to get the 944 fired up, but first I've got a slight issue I'm going to need to show you. Right, so as I say, with this water pump off, there's quite a bit of oil coming out of the coolant jacket, which isn't good at all. Now, when I first got the car, you got the oil cooler down there, just to the left hand side, very hard to see, but that sits in a coolant jacket. Now that blew the seals out, so I don't know if it's just remnants from that, because obviously it's not really run since, other than like 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there. But I'm gonna put it back together, you know, cam belt on, and I'll run it, and I've got a head gasket tester, so we'll see if it's still pumping in, whether it's a head gasket that pressurized it and made those seals fail or what, but we will see. I'm slightly worried with how much I've spent on the car now. You know, I've done the polybush suspension, I'll give it a full respray, and then now, yeah, the engine could be knackered. Right, so I've got the cam belt all back on, just down there, water pumps all back on, airbox is on loosely. Right, now what I'm going to do is I've left the spark plugs out. I'm going to kick it over a few times just to build the oil pressure, because obviously it's not ran in about 3 months, I think. So yeah. Right, so yeah, time to get the ignition over and then build some oil pressure in the car. Right, so we've now built up oil pressure, we've just got the spark plugs in, HT lids are now connected. We're going to kick it over, hopefully it starts, we'll see how it sounds. Then if it sounds alright, we'll then do the leak down test for the head gasket. I think we've got a vacuum leak somewhere. Give it a rev slightly. Right, so we're just getting up to temp now. There was a slight air leak just from under there. There's a little pipe underneath, but you can barely see it. But yeah, that wasn't connected up. So yeah, we're just running up to temp now. Then we've got it a bit warmer. We'll then put the head gasket tester in there. If you're going to say a slight chuffing, one of the seals has gone on one of the injector rail things there. You can see the slight wetness, so we're going to need a new set of O-rings for it. We're just slowly letting air bleed through there. We need a new bleed screw for that as well. Right, so we're just going to run it again, but this time we've got the little chemical in there. We're just going to see if the head gasket goes. It should change colour if the head gasket's gone, so yeah. Right, now this may only look like a really short clip, but I can assure you this is about 15 to 20 minutes worth of time-lapse footage. Got the engine fully up to temp, and so far so good. I mean, there's no real colour change there. It's pretty normal for the level to change a little bit here and there, shows the car vents. But yeah, overall it's looking good. Right, so Dad's just going to drop all the old coolant out of there that we just cycled around the engine. Hopefully we get some more of that oil out, but then we're going to put a proper coolant flush in there. Yeah, you can see all the old spores of oil in there, can't you? Hopefully we get a load out at the end, but probably not. Right, so the liquid in here hasn't changed colour, so we have passed the head gasket test. If the head gasket had failed, this would have gone green. So that means that all of the old contaminated oil that's within the coolant system that we saw before is just from when the oil cooler seals blew out, which is very good news. So now we're just going to need to flush it out a few times with a coolant flush. I need to test the alternator to make sure that works, because that wasn't working. Off camera we've put a new voltage regulator on that, and hopefully that'll work. If not, we're going to need a new alternator. I've also, about 3 months ago, I rebuilt the power steering pump now, so that's going to need to go back on, be retested, make sure there's no leaks, make sure it's working. and then other than that, you just need to polish up, and then it's ready to go in for MOT. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Covers off, got everything off here that needs to come off. I've lined this up with top dead centre here. There's some old time marks there from whenever the last person's done it. All I need to do now is put the flywheel locking tool in, which is attached onto the crankshaft there, and it'll stop that bottom pulley from moving at all. Then we can take all the belts off, and all we need to do is make sure that that is in exactly the right place. Obviously, as well as the counterbalance, so the engine's properly balanced. Right, so that's the starter motor off. It's just right at the back of the gearbox there. I've got the tool here, the locking tool. It just obviously just goes in there as and when we need it, but obviously now first of all we need to take the spark plugs out. But yeah, overall this car's very clean underneath, quite a rust free example. Even got the original jacking points on it. Now the last car I had to fabricate some of them up myself. Belts are off, all the pulleys are also off, just have to take plastic cover off, and that gives us access to the water pump under here.